Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Sports. We're going to do the NBA series, the NBA playoff series. I hope those who are joining us tonight really pay attention because we're going to be talking some serious noise tonight, guys. I'm just telling you right now. Listen, if you're joining Let's Talk Sports for the first time, we actually hit that like button, follow us. Look, we're bringing this thing the best we possibly can, and believe me, it's pretty good. We had some predictions last week. One of my boys, who we're going to bring on later, named Rod, predicted the Final Four pretty much to the T. Of course, yours truly predicted the girls' Final Four. It is what it is. It's just Let's Talk Sports bringing how it's going to come, and we're going to keep bringing it like that. But before I get off into the show tonight, I want to talk about something that's really been bothering me. If you've been following us, one of the things I like to talk about something that has nothing to do with sports when the show first starts. And the thing that's been getting me is I don't know if you guys watch this show, Naked and Afraid, or this show called All American. I'm gonna tell you something. When I was growing up, we had shows that we watched. Jeffersons. I mean, I like the Jeffersons. I like Maude. I like Mannix. I liked all those shows. But I mean, they weren't something I had to watch. I watched them because I had no choice. I had three freaking channels. I mean, whatever your freaking parents watched, that's what you watched. So I had no freaking choice to watch that stuff. But these days, there's a choice. And there's a smorgasbord of stuff that you can watch on TV now. But I'm gonna tell y'all something that I think that I guess you can say it's troubling, but it's not really troubling. But it is something that I think that everybody should pay attention to. Check this out. So I don't like the show Naked and Afraid, but my wife, she sits down and she watches Naked and Afraid, and just begs me to come in front of the TV. Just begs me. And come watch this, watch this. So I sit down and I'm watching it for 5, maybe 10 minutes. And I'm like, interested in this show. I have no idea why I'm interested in the show because I care less about naked people proving that they can make it out of the woods or the desert. I mean, that's a personal thing. That's a personal goal of theirs. It doesn't excite me. But for some strange reason, I can't walk away from it. I mean, it just draws you in. Now that's great production, just fantastic stuff. But that's almost troubling a little bit, right? Because it's messing with your psyche. Like when you sit down, a person like me know if I'm sitting down doing that, that means that I'm not working, and that means that I'm not moving toward the goal. So I can't get caught up in that. So she tried to get me with the Naked and Afraid, but she didn't get me with the Naked and Afraid. I'm sorry. I had no desire to watch people just shrivel up like that in 30, 40 days. I'll be crying for my mama out there. I'm just telling you like it is. But this show All American now, this show All American is about sports with a whole bunch of drama around it. It's actually about football with a whole bunch of drama around it. I mean, a whole bunch of drama. So you sit down, and before I know it, I said, I'm gonna watch 10 minutes of this. And you're watching 10 minutes of it, and the next thing you know, they start talking about football, and that's something that interests you. So you know what they're talking about, you can understand the dialogue, and it just kind of draws you in. And before you know it, you're talking about some shooting and who's dating who and who's sleeping with who or who slept with who. And I'm like, what happened? Well, this was about football, but for some strange reason now I can't leave. I'm stuck here just watching every episode because they got me coming back for more, coming back for more. Every time you watch an episode, you got to see what happens next. What's next? What's next? And before you know it, you caught up. You're an advocate watcher now, and you're somebody that don't even watch TV. Y'all need to watch out for stuff like that because there's some creepy stuff when you think about it. I have no desire to watch either of these shows, but I watch it just a little bit and it just draws me in. Does that not creep y'all out? Is that not, as my boy say, cringe? That's kind of weird, don't you think? That it can draw you in like that. I mean, it's not funny. It's not educational. It's just drama, and it just draws you in. Look, it didn't get me. It didn't get me. It can't get me because if it get me, that means something's gonna go by the wayside, and I can't do that. But I bet you any kind of money, it done got some of y'all. look, look, this is another episode of Let's Talk Sports. We're gonna do the NBA playoff series. It's a lot going on. in the Western Conference, guys. And for those of you guys who are jumping on, we get ready to talk about the Western Conference. If you know anything about the NBA or you just want to learn some stuff, you won't want to hang around because we're going to talk about every team who we feel should be talked about, whether that's going to be negative or positive. You're going to get some feedback about your team. Well, we feel like the top teams in the Western Conference and those who can make an impact because it's going to be some crazy stuff going on in this playoffs. And for you gamblers out there, y'all better be paying attention. Just like I told you the other day on my video. I don't know if you see my reel what I told you. Watch out because the Lakers are on the tail end of a back-to-back. And when you're betting on them, you get what you got last night. And that wasn't pretty, was it? That's all I'm saying. It ain't my money. I'm just trying to give you the tips. The tips are the things to watch. With that being said, the first team we're going to talk about in the Western Conference final, Western Conference playoffs is the LA Lakers. But before we get into it, I got to bring my boy, my man, my dog, Pimp Dog Daddy, Rod Matthews back in here. What's going on, man?
My man, how you doing? I hate I missed last week, man, but I'm back. I'm back, baby.
Hey, bro, you got to do what you got to do, man. This don't pay the bills. This is just passing time right now.
Hey, well, we got people out there who depend on what we say. Well,
I believe that. I believe that, Rod. Man, listen, I'm gonna let you go first because I don't want nobody saying that I'm being negative because I actually said it would be something to see if the Lakers would come back, make the playoffs, and win it all. I'm gonna be honest with you, Rod. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. After watching that fatigue hit them last night, I don't know, man. What you think? What you think the Lakers gonna do?
I mean, well, first of all, there are no back-to-backs in the playoffs. So you don't have to worry about that, which is an advantage for an older type team like the Lakers. But they have the savvy and they have just enough mixture of that young blood in there with that trade, that midseason trade, that guys like Austin Reeves that can really give them some minutes. Man, if I'm not mistaken, they got Scottie Pippen's son over there, right?
I think so.
So they got an infusion of young blood, and I can never count out LeBron James because really, to be honest, I'm just gonna let you know my favorite team in the NBA is whatever team LeBron James plays for. So if he went to the Sacramento Kings next year, you know what I mean? Regrettably, I'd be the Sacramento Kings fan.
I think you're saying you're a LeBron James fan, right?
Absolutely.
So this show is about to get real excited because see, I'm a Steph Curry fan. So this show is about to get exciting as the playoffs continue. Here's my take on the Lakers. Yeah, you're right. Last night I seen a lot of fatigue. I really stopped watching the game in the third quarter because I could see that they were really fatigued. And I know there's a lot of fans out there saying, "Oh, that's just an excuse." Well, listen. All right. So for all those who don't know, there's a sport called basketball. If you don't know, it's the second thing that happens. It's like a swimmer uses his whole body. It's a basketball player uses his whole body all day. And if you really want to see how much energy they're using, go on a basketball court, take a basketball, dribble as hard as you can to the goal, and lay it up. That's all you got to do. And you're gonna see your heart start pounding. And just imagine doing that over the course of a quarter, over the course of 2 nights in a row. And then imagine that somebody's going to always get tired. So y'all need to just put that to the side. My take on the Lakers is simple. I got them going. I believe they're going to make the playoffs. I also believe they're going to make some noise because LeBron James and AD, man, those guys want to play in the playoffs, and they want to play at a high level. So all you guys that put all that stuff to the side and say, hey, the Lakers may not make it. They're going to be in the play-in. If they make the play-in, they're going to end up making the playoffs. Now, here's the problem, Rod. This is the problem. This is the thing people don't see. If the Lakers get in the playoffs, they're going to hurt. They're going to hurt a couple of people. I'm just I'm saying I'm telling everybody, look, I am not a Laker fan. I'm not even a LeBron fan, although I'm not a LeBron hater either. What I am is just being realistic. Do not count the Los Angeles Lakers out for the simple reason of LeBron James. What do you think about that?
I'm a LeBron fan, so of course, any team that he's on is automatically a contender. you can kind of wipe the regular season out. But to be perfectly honest, as AD goes, so goes the Lakers, right? If we can depend on him, I'm not worried about LeBron. He's going to give you 25 and 8 and 7, consistently every night in the playoffs, no problem. Even step it up a notch, a game or two. But if we can get AD to give us some consistency again, you would like to think that all that load management during the season was to preserve him for this time. So it's time for him to shine right now. I think they go as far as the Western Conference.
Whoa.
Call it right now. Book it.
Whoa. We got a big problem, dude.
I'm telling
because
you,
you booking that the Lakers. Now, I want everybody to understand what my boy just said because he just put it out there. And I like that. I love that. My boy Rod, who I must admit, so far have not been wrong. The only thing I know he's been wrong about was he actually thought that Miami was going to lose to Houston in the tournament, and I tried to tell him that wasn't going to happen. But other than that, he has been dead on point with his basketball. I have to disagree with you because that would mean that the Pelicans or the Warriors wouldn't go to the Western Conference Finals. Now, we're going to get into that later. I'm going to stick with the Lakers. We're going to get into that later. But I disagree that they go into the Western Conference Finals. But I do believe they will get out of the play-in if they have to play in the play-in. And I believe they'll get out of the first round. Now, that's saying a lot because they're going to be a very low seed.
Man,
so
that seeding is so fraudulent. I mean, look, that Western Conference seeding, come on, man. Denver Nuggets, who they beat? Who they beat the playoffs?
Look,
the Grizzlies. Who they beat in the playoffs?
Let's not blow Rashard up. We gonna get to Denver, but I want to say this. You're right. Denver have not been past the first round that I know of anyway.
No,
maybe it was back in the days or something like that. But since Joe was
Alex
out there,
English, you know what I mean? Since Alex English or somebody back then.
But bro, you did not go back to Alex English. Oh no.
Hey, other than that, brother, I don't know what they do. They don't do nothing. They make omelets. All they do is make omelets in Denver. That's about all they can do.
I'm gonna say this. If I was a Laker fan, I wouldn't be afraid of anybody in that top seed. I just wouldn't. I mean, it's not one single person in the top 3 seeds, which is where the Lakers will fall, that they should be afraid of. Because honestly, with consistent play from AD, I believe they can beat any of those 3 in a 7-game series. I just do. That you said something right there. So let's just get it straight. My boy Rod Matthews picked the Lakers to go to the Western Conference Finals on Let's Talk Sports, and he was bold with it. Because here's the thing: wrong or right, that's his opinion. I don't believe he's right, but he do.
Right. I got the faith in the Lakers,
and that's the thing. Look, I think I'm gonna be honest with you, Rod. It's kind of hard to go to the next teams now. You didn't put your stamp on.
I'm just calling it like I see it, brother.
You didn't put your stamp on.
Mid-season, really look at the transformation of this team since they got rid of that cancer called Westbrook.
All right, Westbrook. Hey, by the way, Westbrook playing well, man. He is.
I mean, so that was it was a win-win really for both parts because he's playing better for the Clippers. He's actually, looking like he's an actual all-star instead of the number 12 man on the bench. And we got rid of him I say we, but the Lakers got rid of him. And they've been, upward bound ever since. So I think it was a trade that worked out best for both teams.
Well, the scary part about it is I know he was recruited and brought to the Lakers, right? I never thought Westbrook fit the Lakers system at all. I mean, when they started talking about it, I was like, that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
that's not gonna work. To be quite honest with you, I don't really think he fits the Clippers offense just yet. I think he's just playing really good basketball.
Right.
But I'm gonna say this: you got the Lakers. Y'all heard it first here. I love it. Since he gave his prediction tonight, I'm gonna give my prediction tonight. But we ain't on the team that I'm predicting yet. So now, with that being said, for everybody who just jumped on, Everybody who's looking at this podcast, I want you guys to understand something. Um, we we are here to help. What the crap is going on? We are here to help give you guys our opinion on who we think gonna win. And I'm gonna be totally honest with you. We've been doing a pretty doggone good job too. We hadn't been messing up at all. So you might want to pay attention. Oh man, I got doggone. Hey Rashard, is anybody talking to us, man? My internet it went down on my tablet, so I can't see. So with that being said, we just finished talking about the Lakers. Now we're getting ready to transition. We're gonna transition this thing. And we're gonna talk about the team I want to talk about, the Warriors. We're gonna talk about the Golden State Warriors. That for some strange reason, Rod, every year, you may be one of them. Golden State Warriors don't get no respect for some strange reason until they start torching the lights out of people, and then everybody starts saying, "Oh, that's Golden State." Maybe they too old. Maybe they too slow. They look slow. They look slow the other night. I got to admit that. But are they really playing yet? I mean, are they? I mean, Golden State can't win on the road. That everybody's going to say that they can't win on the road. Um, my wife is a bigger Golden State fan than I am, Rod. I'm telling you, she is. She can tell y'all can talk shop about the good Golden State Warriors. You hear me? And she told me the other night, and you can see it for yourself. When they were playing, uh, the other night they were playing. Give me a second. OKC. They were playing OKC. They lost that game, and she said something during the game that really blew me away. She said, "I'm going to bed." I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm going to bed." She said, they're not, she said, they're playing like they don't want to be there. She's like, she said, they're going to lose this game. And they end up losing the game in the very end of the game. They end up losing the game. And I got to thinking about something. I have seen Golden State play Golden State basketball. You ready for this, Rod? Maybe 4 times this year. One was versus the 76ers. The other one was the last time they played Phoenix. She said, and this is gonna sound crazy to all the people gonna listen to this podcast. She said, "Golden State, I just truly believe they're playing possum." She said, "Hey, you've been the target that long. Sometimes you just don't want to be the target no more. You want to come from when they don't see you." Rod, you know Golden State is really good, and you know they're better than how they've been playing. But yet, as bad as they play, they still gonna probably end up a 6th or a 5th seed.
Yep.
Are they dangerous?
I think it's fool's gold, Rich, to be honest with you,
Oh,
man. It's fool's gold, man. I think really there is a dynamic on that team that has been started really with that Draymond Green and Jordan Poole incident. There's like 2 parts of that team. There's the old guard and there's the young boys. You know, you got Jonathan Kuminga and Moody and those guys and Jordan Poole, and that's their clique. Then you got the old heads, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond. And I think that is really that dynamic is leading to their issues on the road. Because you know, you have to be cohesive on the road because it's you against the world, your team against the world. And they are
so
like the worst team in the NBA on the road this year.
but isn't
And
it? Go ahead. I want you to finish. Go ahead.
being that they are, you know, like you said, they're going to be in the 5th or the 6th seed, means they're going to have to play every series on the road. And they're the worst road team in the NBA. To me,
Okay, let me ask you
trouble.
a question. Let me ask you a question to refute what you just said. You said
Okay.
they're the worst road team in the league, and I give you that. I'm not taking that away from them. But here's why I disagree about because they're a road team. You know, it only takes one road game, right?
Yeah.
In a 7-game series, you just need one, and you flip the doggone home field advantage, but you get one. And if you mess around and get 2, now you own home field advantage. So that's why I disagree with that. But I do agree that they are playing home on the road, and I also do agree that there's a division in that team. There is the young, there is the old. Did you watch them play? Then the reason why I'm saying I totally agree with you on that. Did you watch them play against the last team they played, which was Give me a second. Give me a second. There's somebody they should have killed. But they struggled with OKC. It was OKC. They
Yeah.
struggled with OKC. When Phoenix, Phoenix blew them out. Mostly everybody else blew them out, but they struggled with OKC, right? But at the very end of that game, I somewhat can see young coming to old.
Mhm.
Now they were at home, so that's a different story. Because you know as well as I know, the young bucks got that money. They go on the road. They want to go party. It is what it
Right.
is. The older guys are saying, "Hey man, listen, we need to be together right now." But the playoffs hadn't started yet, so I can see. Just follow me on this. I can truly see a youngster saying this. Man, look, when the playoffs start, we'll be ready. We don't need to worry about all that right now. Can you see a youngster? Now, the reason why I think they can get away with it is because of what happened with Draymond and Poole. Because if Draymond and Poole instantly don't have a Draymond would be like, the hell you are gonna do that. You're gonna say your ass right here and we're gonna all be together. But you can't do that anymore. So you have that. So I totally agree with that. But I also know that Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, man, they leaders. And when they say, I guarantee you, when they say it's time to play with Wiggins coming back, look, I'm just gonna tell you straight up. The scary part that you and everybody else in the Western Conference should be looking at is Golden State is a 5th or 6th seed. They turn the ball over probably more than anybody in the league. And they still a 5th or 6th seed. And yeah, they hadn't played no good basketball all year. So they're due. It's coming. Now, will it go all the way to the championship? I can't tell you that. But will it go to the Western Conference Finals? Absolutely. Golden State Warriors will be in the Western Conference Finals. That's my prediction. Say what?
I don't see it this year, bro.
But nobody sees it no year. I mean, like, look, when KD, let's be honest. When KD came there, Golden State was going to be in the Western Conference Finals.
Mhm.
KD leaves, they miss a year, they come right back and they're in the Western Conference Finals. You cannot say, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see it last year because you know why? You didn't either. And if you say
No.
you did, you're full of
I did
crap.
not. I did not see it.
Because nobody expected Wiggins to play like that.
I thought
Nobody.
the Clippers would be better last year.
Right.
Instead of them.
I mean, so I'm gonna pick Golden State to go. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you who I got them playing later on in the show. But as far as Golden State going to the conference finals or not, Rod, you can't count that team out. You can't. If you
Yeah.
do, really,
Now,
let's be honest. Did you have them winning the championship last year?
I did not.
I had them winning in 6. When they beat Dallas in the conference championship, I was like, here's the deal. Everybody talk about Steph Curry best season. Man, Steph Curry playoff series last year was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
It was just ridiculous. And Clay, he was very inconsistent. He was up and down, but Steph was not. Steph was on fire almost every night. So,
Offensively.
yeah, Clay's back. He's not back defensively yet, but he's definitely back offensively.
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and predict that. This is the first time on this show, guys, that me and Rod have disagreed. So y'all need to be paying attention here.
Y'all got it here. I got the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, and Rich got the Warriors. We're gonna see who's gonna turn out to be right.
And I'm gonna tell you who I got the Warriors playing. I'm gonna tell you too. Okay. Now, here's the next people I want to talk about, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This team here. Now, this is the team that I'm not sold on. For those of y'all who are just watching, we're going through the NBA series, NBA playoff series, Western Conference, and we're giving our prediction of who we believe going to be in the Western Conference Finals. We just finished talking about the Warriors, and before that, we talked about the Lakers. Rod picked the Lakers to go to the Western Conference Finals. I picked the Warriors. Wouldn't it be funny if they actually went to and played each other? That would be wild. Because there's a lot of people gonna say y'all sick in the head, man. The Lakers or the Warriors not going to the Western Conference Finals. And I'm gonna say this to both of y'all. Anybody who said that, I'm gonna say this. You have no idea what NBA playoffs means. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Experience matter when it comes to the playoff. Now, the next team we're gonna talk about, Anybody who's jumping on, we're finna talk about the Denver Nuggets. Now, let me tell y'all something. Jokic with his injury, um, and that kind of injury slash load management, I'm getting ready for the playoffs kind of thing. Well, I'm just gonna tell y'all something. I want y'all, before I bring you in, Rod, just hear me out on this. I want y'all to go back to the Boston Celtics, Brooklyn Nets last year when Boston just took Katie completely out of the game. Because that's what the Denver Nuggets is asking for. Now, don't get me wrong; they have some weapons over there other than Jokic, but I watched them play without him, and they look disoriented. So that means that if somebody actually was shutting him down, or they was running some type of defense to slow him down, Denver would be a very vulnerable team, and they're very streaky. I mean, like streak. I mean, it's almost like they're saying we can do the Golden State thing. Well, Golden State is a master at doing that. Denver is not. That's why they get big leads and then give them up. So, what do you think about? I think the Nuggets are upset prone. What do you think about the Nuggets?
I think the Nuggets have shown who they are. You know, somebody like my mama say, if somebody show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them.
we've seen who the different Nuggets have been the last 2-3 years. You know, it's nothing. They come into the playoffs. You know, the Joker, he gets an MVP, he puts up big numbers, but at the end of the day, they cannot get over the hump. I don't know what it is. The Joker, he's a great player. I give him that. He's not all that aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but he gets the job done. Right? His game is not the prettiest game, but he gets the job done. You know, so he is he's definitely the catalyst of that team. But I don't know that combination of Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. Since he's come back from that injury, he hasn't really been the same. Before, he could give you 40, 50. He could go for 50 on you easy before the injury. Post-injury, he's not quite as dynamic. And I think that has an effect on the team.
And you know as well as I know in the playoffs, that ball just do not want to go in the rim. You almost got to make it go in the rim.
That's right.
And I seen Murray struggle in the playoffs before. Yeah. I think Murray is going to struggle in the playoffs this year. But here's another person I think going to struggle: Gordon.
Yeah.
I agree. Gordon, very streaky player. He reminds me of Benny Microwave. When he gets going, he's just going. He's unbelievable. But if you can keep him from getting going, he gets frustrated. And so that these two things that we're talking about right there is 2 losses to Denver. Those 2 things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Jokic will get them through a lot of battles by himself. Mm-hmm. But if you think that you're going to let Jokic play point center and just dish the ball off to somebody else, these guys in the playoffs are going to switch off with you. They're not going to give you the matchups that you want. They're going to play better defense. It's going to be tighter defense, and the referees are not going to be so amped to blow that whistle. That's what NBA playoffs is all about. And that's the point. Right. And that's the point that I believe Denver lacks. I believe they lack that. I mean, every player complains when they get fouled. I don't care what team it is. Everybody always, they either complain that they got fouled or they complain that they didn't foul. It doesn't matter either way it goes. But Denver,
they're just a little bit soft, a little bit soft over there in Denver. Just a little bit. I'm just saying.
You being modest, dude. I was trying to be nice about it. The bottom line is they are soft, and you know they soft. I mean, and what I mean by that is, I'll give you an example. If the Lakers play Denver, I can just see 80 of them just beat them up because they're not physical enough.
Right. That's what hurts them in the playoffs. That's really what hurts them in the playoffs.
I mean, so what you're going to do? It's going to hurt you because when LeBron is coming down there, he's bodying you up.
Yeah.
He's bodying you up, and the referee ain't calling jack, so you're wasting your time. And what Jokic going to do? What are you going to do? He's just him by himself. You cannot count. I hope you don't think that Gordon can guard AD because he can't.
No.
I mean, No, it's not going to happen. So that gives a big mismatch for them, which means it's going to come down to Murray and those other guys. That's why I see them being an early elimination. My prediction, Rod, right here on Let's Talk Sports, I'm putting it all out there tonight. Rod got me started. That the Denver Nuggets will be eliminated in the first round if they play
First
the Pelicans or the Lakers. They're going to get eliminated.
out of there.
It's just gone. I mean, people, and look, all those people who are going to be, I love how those people chime in on things and they say, well, we'll see, or we're going to see what's going to happen. And then I can't find them right after the game is over. When it happens, I can't find them nowhere. Some people even delete their posts.
So
I'm just
what do we
right.
think of what do we think of the Joker if they lose in the first round again? So what do we make of him?
Hey, look, I already said that the Joker didn't have the right supporting cast around him. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. The Joker is a great player. But I remember what happened to him last year with Draymond Green. Draymond Green basically just handled it. I mean, so I'm sorry, I can't put they keep putting Jokic at MVP. Look, I'm not disagreeing with all of them. Matter of fact, one of them I totally agree with. But one of them is suspect. And the reason why I say it's suspect is, what is MVP? MVP means if that guy is not on their team, that team probably wouldn't do nowhere near as good as they do. Is that what MVP means? Like if I take this guy away, this team would just fall apart. That's what MVP meant to me. That's how it always meant to me. I'm not saying they wouldn't win though.
It affects winning. It affects winning.
Right. So I see you winning, and I know it's a regular season trophy. I get that and all that stuff, but come on, man. I mean, this guy win all these doggone MVPs and never win a championship. How does that look?
Yeah, exactly.
How does that look?
Exactly. Stats.
I mean, if you can't win one with Denver, you need to go somewhere else and win one, because that just looks. You know what that looks like, Rod? That looks biased.
Yeah.
Because one goes to the other, right? Because, like, for instance, okay, I know that MVP is a regular season trophy. Let's get that straight for everybody who's going to watch. I know that. But what I'm saying is what if a player ended up with 3 or 4 MVPs and no championships?
No playoff wins. Let alone championships. No playoff wins. Come on, let's start there.
Just a playoff game. Just win. Okay, if you can win a playoff, win a series. Do something. But how is that going to look when you got a lot of league MVPs and no playoff success? None. So how are you the MVP?
Exactly. That's what I said. What are we to make of it?
Well, I mean, personally, Joel Embiid should have won MVP last year. That was just my take on it. But Joel Embiid should win MVP this year too. And it ain't even close. I don't care what nobody says. It's not even close. Because I don't look at MVP by your stats. I see all these guys looking at these analytics and stats. No. MVP is if I take that person off this team for 60 games, would this team make the playoffs? No, they wouldn't. So that's why they're the MVP. I mean, so that's how I look at it, man. That's how I always. What do you think about that?
I'm the same. I mean, well, it depends on if a team is below 500 and you got a guy balling and you take him off, and now they lose 10 more games. What difference does it make? They weren't winning anyway. So that's why I say they have to be in a position where they're winning. This guy affects winning. So it's usually you got to be top 2, 3 positions in your in the standings, and you're balling. So it's not coming from the 11th seed. The MVP is not coming from the 11th seed.
No, and it would make no sense if the MVP came from the 11th seed. That would make no sense. The MVP don't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
So goodbye, Luka. No Luka.
See, you know what? I'm surprised. I'm happy I didn't put them on the thing tonight, because I could talk about them all night. I'm not gonna get on Dallas, dude. I'm not. Listen, for those of y'all who are just joining us, we just finished a segment on. If you didn't watch it, we just finished a segment on the Denver Nuggets, and it's probably one of the best segments we ever done on this show because the truth of the matter is we both feel the same way. We think Denver is upset prone. We do not see Denver how the analysts see Denver, how they are pumping Denver up. We don't see that. We I guess we've been watching sports and basketball so long till we know how physical the playoffs is. And I'm sorry, you just don't get them man ones like talking about it unless you heard them. I mean, so I'm not say it again now. You gotta bring the wood. A guy came to me the other day, Ron. Nuggets. He hit me on social media, right? I was like, dude, you don't want me to talk about Denver because it's not going to be the way you think I'm going to talk about Denver. I said, so if you're a fan of Denver, you don't want me to talk about Denver, dude, because I hadn't seen anything yet. I mean, so I hadn't seen anything to get excited about other than they beat some teams probably when the team was hurt. They beat some teams probably in different parts of the year. Other than that, no, I don't care about no regular season or what seed you come in there because when that playoff start, it ain't gonna matter. You better be bringing it, and you better have some good players that ready to play some basketball. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Denver fans, hear me when I say this: you do not want the Lakers or the Pelicans in the first round. If you get them, you're going home.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
I see the Western Conference playoffs being just like the NCAA tournament this year. I mean,
How you say?
Upset City.
Upset City. Now, see, it was easy to see in the NCAA. It was really easy to see, but it's more glaring in the NBA than it was in the NCAA.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to watch Rod. You don't even have to watch basketball all year long. You can start watching basketball at freaking All-Star break and know what's going on.
Yep, you're right.
I have watched every single team that we're talking about tonight more than once, and I watched them live. Not the replay on YouTube. I watch it live, and I watch the games back on YouTube because I want to see different things. And I'm telling Denver fans, listen to me. I know it's exciting, and you probably don't want to hear this, but you might want to go back and watch some of the video that you see. And actually, you're gonna have a lot of questions about the toughness of the Denver Nuggets. You're gonna have a lot of questions about it. And understand who you're gonna meet in the West, Denver. I mean, you're going to have to go through the Lakers. You're going to have to go to the Pelicans. Okay, if you get past either one of those teams, if you play them, now you go deep, and you'll probably have to play somebody like Golden State or the Clippers. When you're playing against those teams know how to be physical on you. They know how to take you game by game. Every game they take a little bit more from you, and before you know it, you're getting swept. So good luck, Denver fans, with that. I hope I'm wrong for you guys' sake, but if you guys been following us, we ain't wrong a lot. I ain't saying we right every time, but we ain't wrong a lot. I mean, so we're gonna just keep it. We're gonna keep it PG on that. We're gonna keep it PG. With that being said, for those of you guys who are jumping on, great show. We're having a lot of fun. The next team we're gonna talk about who is gonna be to me. I'm telling you right now, Roy, I'm gonna have some fun with this one because I can't wait to hear what you got to say about this team. It's the Sacramento Kings. Now, Sacramento people in California right now. Let me get y'all to understand something. I am not laughing at the Sacramento Kings. Those boys can score. Those boys can score with anybody in the NBA, and I'm telling you, they score. They remind me of a younger Golden State because they play almost the same way. It's almost the same style of basketball. But let me make sure I get this right, and then I'm gonna hand it to you, Rod. So you're gonna win a championship by not stopping people, just outscoring them. That's your take on that. Man, do you see Sacramento? They play no defense. I'm just like,
man. They play defense like the Washington Generals.
Rod, they don't play no defense. Look, y'all don't believe me? Go back and watch the game last night. I'm telling you, I'm watching them. I'm like, oh my God, let's just go and run by them and lay it up.
Yeah.
We'll get you on the other end. No hard fouls. No, I'm like, is this a new strategy that I don't know anything about? I mean,
Yeah, man. That's
did you
that's
have
the new
you
team.
seen him play defense yet?
None whatsoever. And in the
Now, bro,
playoffs, no defense means L's, losses.
exit, early exit.
Yeah, you got to play defense in the playoffs, baby.
I could not believe I have actually watched them 3 times because I'm impressed with their offense. But I've actually watched them 3 times, and I'm saying to myself, okay, you can score, but it's a concern when you score 140 and the other team score 125. That's a concern.
Exactly.
It's I'm saying to myself, you know as well as I know, Rob, when the playoffs start and the real teams ready to start playing basketball, they're gonna D your behind up. And
I
it's
know.
gonna come down to who got the best defense.
Mhm.
In basketball, it's the best defense. In football, it ain't the best defense no more. It don't crap. No matter. It depends on what quarterback you're playing against.
Right.
But in basketball, it's still who can create turnovers, who can force you into playing the game they want you to play. Man, I don't see Sacramento being able to do that to nobody.
They reincarnate Chris Webber, bring Peja Stojakovic they out the grave. That's about the only way they can do that, brother.
And Chris Webber don't call timeout when he ain't got no more.
Exactly. That's
Hey, you don't have any more timeout. Timeout.
time out, buddy. So
Oh
no, I
man, I
think
can't imagine how many
I think
people lost money on that game.
man.
But
But to say
yeah, I
they're in the three
mean,
seed, man, Sacramento, fraudulent. Again, fraudulent. I don't see it.
I was watching them last night. I think it was last night. Um, yeah, against the Pelicans. I think they were playing the Pelicans last night. Who was
Mhm.
Sacramento playing last night?
I didn't see the game last night, unfortunately.
Dallas. They were playing Dallas.
Okay.
So Sacramento is playing Dallas last night, right? Kyrie Irving hits 31, 19 in the fourth quarter. Rod, please do me a favor. Go back on YouTube, watch this last fourth quarter. And and everybody's talking about how good Kyrie was. Let me explain something to y'all who watching this. Kyrie Irving is one of the best basketball players to ever lace it up. The boy got some serious skills. He can do whatever he want to do, whenever he want to do it. But at the offensive end, right? But when you playing against a team that's not even attempting to play defense on you, I mean, they're acting like they're playing defense, but they're really not because he's just going around. He's shooting wherever he wants. There's no contact. There's no nothing. That like you know as well as I know, Roy. It's old school. If this player is constantly busting on you from the outside, man, intentionally foul him hard. So to say, hey, look, we ain't finna let you just keep doing that. Man, they just sitting there watching them shoot threes. I was, I was it made Dallas look much better than what they were. But here's the thing that Sacramento fans, y'all hear me when I say this. Because what you seen last night is probably what you're gonna see in the playoffs. In some nights, you're not gonna be able to score. You're gonna be cold. And because you can't play no defense, the other team is just gonna give you all kinds of hell or blow you clean out of the doggone gym. You remember I said that your first series that you lose, whenever you lose, it's probably going to be within 6 games because it's yeah, man, you know as well as I know. It's what one.
So they can get the ball back quick, so they can go down. That's their whole defensive philosophy.
I mean,
They hope you miss. That's it. They play wish defense. We wish you miss.
we I mean, the bottom line is I don't understand it. Mike Brown was probably one of the best coaches, defensive minded coaches.
Absolutely.
I guess he just was like, well, look, you know what? That sounds like a GM kind of thing. It does. I mean, I'm not going to take anything from Mike Brown. He deserved everything. He said they were going to make the playoffs. They made the playoffs. They got a top seed. But if you don't start playing no defense, you are early exit.
Out of
And
there.
I mean early exit. You got to play defense at some point of the game. You may not play the whole game, but at some point you got to say we got to D up. I mean,
I like
Look,
that kid Sabonis though. I like Sabonis, man.
Sabonis is actually a very underrated player. He don't get
I like
nowhere near
him a lot.
the publicity that he should be getting, but I think he likes that. I don't think he likes to be in the forefront, but yeah, he's really good. He really he's gonna pose a lot of problems. But here's the thing: they don't even depend on him. They got some freaking shooters over there. They got about
Oh, yeah.
5 of them.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can really shoot the lights out of the ball. But like we said
De'Aaron Fox
before,
is pretty fast. You know, he's lightning.
say it again.
De'Aaron Fox is lightning. He's fast.
Yes, Fox is really really good. There's another one, man. He's a rookie. I watched him the other night against the Pelicans. I mean, like this dude lit it up. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, just tackle a dude because this dude shooting from 30 feet and ain't hitting nothing. One time it went, you know how the ball goes through so clean, it don't even touch the net.
You hear no noise.
Say that again.
You didn't hear any noise on that one.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So don't get it twisted, Sacramento fans. I am not saying that you're not a good team because you are. I'm just saying in the playoffs, you got to play some defense. Now, for those of y'all who are just starting or just coming on the show, we're about to finish the show. But before we finish the show, there's two things I want to talk about. First thing I want to talk about with you, Rod, is the Pelicans. Can they get in without Zion?
If they do it, early exit. I mean, no Zion, no victories. I don't think.
No. I just want to know. I predicted that they can get in without Zion. I predict Zion to come back when they get in, because if they can get now, I don't know if they can do this. Their goal should be to get beyond the play-in series. If they don't get beyond the play-in series, they may be in a little trouble without Zion. The reason I say that is, if they can get beyond the play-in series, it gives Zion time to heal because of the play-in series. So I predicted them to go in without Zion, but I predicted them to go deep with Zion.
Well, I think that combination of C.J. McCollum and Brandon Ingram could get them into the playoffs. Barely, but without Zion, if he doesn't come back, I don't think they have enough firepower to even win a series.
I don't think they have enough firepower unless they play Denver. The reason why I'm saying that is, first of all, I'm on record saying that they could beat Denver in a 7-game series. But here's why I'm saying that. For the reason you just said, Ingram and McCullough, but more Ingram than McCullough. Mm-hmm. Man, Ingram poses a threat for anybody who guards him because of the way his body shape is.
Yes,
he poses a threat to him. You guys are just getting started watching Ingram. Ingram is going to be really, really good. He hasn't even fully developed yet to how good he's going to be.
He's just not starting to get his man strength.
Right. When you seen him the other night doing the interview after the game, after he had such a good game, I could tell he was like, he's coming to his own right now. Mm-hmm. Right now, he's coming to his own. So if Zion came back, they become a triple threat. Yep. With these young kids shooting these threes on the perimeter. The Pelicans become a threat right then and there. I got the Pelicans going. Matter of fact, I got the Pelicans going to the Western Conference Finals if Zion comes back. If Zion does not come back, I don't have him. I'm going to tell you why I picked that. I picked him because nobody has really got a good chance to see them play together. So it would be hard to defend because Zion been missing so much time. Mm-hmm. If he came back in there, it'd be hard for a coach to say, this is how I'm going to stop Zion, because you ain't really never seen him. You've seen what he's capable of, but you ain't never really seen him do it on a consistent basis. Does that make sense? So I don't think nobody would see him coming because of Zion coming back. I don't think nobody will see it. You're adding another 30 points. So now you got a team that can already score in the hundreds, and you're going to add another 30. And Pelicans, unlike other teams, can play defense. So I'm just saying, I have them going. If Zion comes back healthy, I got them going to the Western Conference Finals against Golden State.
I know. Well, one thing, they've gotten past that label of young team. right? So they're no longer that young team anymore. They have experience. They have some playoff experience. So now I guess it's time to really step up. You know, they're going to be squeaking into the playoffs, but like you say, if they do, they got a great matchup in the first round.
And that would be a nightmare matchup for Denver if Zion come back, because who gonna
right.
guard him? Who gonna
Nobody.
guard him? You know damn well look, ain't nobody guards Zion anyway. But
Yeah.
nobody definitely. You have no other choice but to put Gordon on Zion. You have no other choice but to do that. And
Yep.
if you put Gordon on Zion, Zion gonna foul him out. He's gonna
Mhm.
foul him out real quick, and then Zion just to take over the game. They don't have anybody but Jokic, and if Jokic say, "Okay, I'll guard Zion," okay, well you guard Zion. Now it's gonna take away from your offense,
Yep. It's
and
going to
then
limit his
and then
offensive production.
Ingram is gonna destroy him. I mean, that's
Yep.
why I say the Lakers
Bad
and
matchup.
the
Don't forget
Lakers and the
about
Pelicans are
Valanciunas.
bad match.
Don't count out Valanciunas. He can give you 20 and 10 when you
That's
feel like
true. That's true. And he can also get some take fouls.
it. Mm-hmm.
The take fouls of people, for those who don't understand, a take foul is really good against somebody who like the Joker. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
people used to think that Shaq could tell you himself he hated people to hack him like that because it took so much from him. So everybody wants to play the hack a Shaq game. It takes a lot from a player when you're constantly fouling them really, really hard. Now, you may not see it as a fan. I'm here to tell you, when somebody's fouling you the right way, you feel it. That and when they do it, you feel it the next day too. So, so, that's what I see him as. He'll get you 12, 13 points, and he'll get some great take fouls that Joker would have to deal with. But again, Denver problem would be simply stopping the three. Just that's what their problem would be, because I don't see nobody. You tell me then who can guard Ingram? If Zion is back, who can guard Ingram?
I don't see anybody on their squad. And like you say, probably one
Joker
of the
plays
best.
center.
Yeah. Michael Porter Jr., they'll probably try to put on him.
That's 30. He gonna drop 30 on him. Look, if you put, and I hope you start putting Michael Porter Jr. on Ingram, not Zion,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm talking about
Okay.
on
Because
Brandon
that
Ingram. No,
would be
not he way too light to go to
But
guard Zion.
if Zion destroy him, but if you gonna put
Yeah,
him
he's
on
way too
Ingram,
light.
he gonna foul
Ingram,
him out.
yeah. Michael Porter Jr., I put
He
him
gonna
on
if
Brandon
he
Ingram.
don't foul him out, he gonna drop 30, 35 on him every time they play.
Right.
People don't understand. We get so caught up in the 3-pointers and the 30-foot shots. And man, let me tell you something. What makes Ingram special is his mid-range, 15 to 17 feet. He's almost automatic. When he shoots it in, and I'm in my house, Rod, I just say bucket.
You already know.
I mean, it's ridiculous watching this mid-range game. It's so underrated.
Yeah.
So underrated.
The kid's nice, man.
I mean, and my wife was like, "You like him?" I was like, "This dude." I said, "Y'all don't realize this who this dude remind y'all of? Nobody's saying it. This dude remind me of a young KD. That's who he remind me of."
Yeah,
KD
that's
was,
why everybody say he's a poor man's KD.
and they can call him a poor man KD all they want. I got a feeling that his time is coming for the big money. I can just say that right now. But if you watch it, go back and watch KD when he was with Seattle. And he just who he reminds you, because everybody was like, this guy, he can really play. Man, when I'm watching Ingram, I swear, if Zion is not in the game, even if McCullough's in the game, I'm like, look, man, just everybody just spread the floor and get a freaking ball in Ingram right at the free throw line and move, because he's an automatic bucket right there. I mean, when he's missing right there, I know something ain't right. I mean, but he's just, and when we so caught up on the 3-pointer, we forget that the mid-range game can kill some people in the playoffs. It can kill them. And you don't believe me? You don't believe me? Ask Owl, because LSU mid-range game killed them in the second half. So what now?
I was just saying, ask Rip Hamilton about that mid-range game.
See, bro, you be going too far back on these people. These people don't remember who Rip Hamilton is. I mean, so the thing about it is, man, and Rod, you know me, man. It's always a pleasure to get on this thing and talk shop with you.
No doubt. No doubt.
we just getting started. I want to, if you don't mind, I'm going to go over some things now for the people who are going to be watching this show and for you because you don't know anything about it either. The
Okay.
draft, we're doing a draft series. We're gonna finish the draft series with on the draft, on the NFL draft. But we're not doing the first round. The first round is at 7 o'clock on a Thursday. We're doing the second round because, and the reason I'm choosing the second round is for the first time, Rod, I truly believe the second round might be better than the first. And I really believe that. Man, there's some studs coming out in the second round. There's some studs. I mean, so anybody who's going to be watching this show, man, join us. Draft day, I think it's the 27th through the 29th or 28th, or something like that. I'll put it on Facebook. But we doing it, and we're gonna do it live, and we're gonna do it that Saturday on the second round, and we go to all 31 picks. We're gonna have more than one guest. We're gonna have some fun, man. We're gonna do it up. I mean, so you're welcome to be on the show. I also asked Mr. Shipman or Raya to be on the show with us too at that time, and we're gonna have some special guests come on and people talk. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. Because to be honest with you, half the people that watch the draft, you know as well as I know, don't have no clue what they're getting excited for.
Hey, I look forward to it, brother.
I mean, so you're definitely welcome to be there. I hope you can find it in your schedule to do that. All right. Last thing I want to talk about, Rashard, just bear with me because I'm going to actually talk about the camera now. Instead of, I know I said I was going to do it at the beginning of the show, but if you just bear with me, I'm getting ready to finish the show, and I want to thank Rob for coming on again, man. It's always a pleasure. I want to thank my producer. I want to thank my wife. I want to thank everybody who has contributed to Let's Talk Sports. Some other people that contribute to Let's Talk Sports, and some people that's going to be coming on later that's contributed to Let's Talk Sports. We have basically, how you can say that, we get a good we have a good chemistry right now. We have a good vibe, and we're really starting to go forward. I know y'all heard me mention before that we're definitely working on getting on Apple podcasts and Spotify podcasts. We also got some people on YouTube that's joining us on YouTube, and we really appreciate that too. I wanted to say this. Listen, just a short version of the visual. I want this show to be interactive to the point where there are people that can be on the show like we are. We are online on the show. Then I want to where we have a studio where people can be inside the studio and online to make it truly interactive with a bunch of people talking sports but not chaotic to the point where it ruins my producer. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who know what they're talking about coming on at different times. It's really going to be cool. In order to do that, we have stepped out. We know now that we can have a show that really does well. And we know we can have a top podcast. We just getting started. What if my producer don't mind? What he's gonna do is he's gonna put an image of a camera up there. This camera, forget about trying to figure out technical stuff about the camera, man. We're not doing all that. We're telling you because of the technology that we're trying and the things that we're trying to do that this camera fits really well. And just to give you a couple of things that could happen, the different camera angles would be cool. Me personally, I love doing my podcast, but I want to be able to stand up. I want to be able to stand up and interact with people that way as well. So it's what the people call it. It's just funny they call it bootstrapping. Hey, I'm bootstrapping out here. If you're not paying attention, go to my YouTube and look at my DoorDash Chronicles because they're hilarious. And I also got some more of those videos I'm getting ready to drop as well. Upcoming, we got a lot of upcoming things, but this camera really sets it to another level. Imagine this. Imagine the way it looks now when I look at the podcast, it looks really good. We came a long way. we can make it look even better. Um, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm gonna put everything in my power and as my wife say, every shit I can come up with into this show. And I'm asking you if you can give a small donation for this camera. We would greatly appreciate it. I want to put a special shout out to my dog. We grew up together. My boy, we graduated from the same high school. We stayed right down the street from each other. We went on many bike trail adventures and watched some many Dallas Cowboys games. God rest my soul. I want to throw up just thinking about it. But but my boy Arbor Holiday, who stepped up and contributed to the show, was really it. He has no idea how that touched me because I know the influence, and I also know what type of person he is in a good way. I know how he is, especially well. Sorry, I'm guessing, but I'm pretty sure it's still the same how he is about his money. And for him to give to this show was really special because I know that in order for him to do anything like that, he has to believe it. He has to believe that it's something that he's not the type of person that wastes his money. Let me put it that way. So I personally thank him on the show, and really appreciate that, man. It really touched me when I seen that you had donated. So we asking anybody that can give anything. We don't care what it is. So we're gonna get this camera. Now I know there's some people out there that don't want to see me standing on the street corner dancing with a sign in my hand saying donate to Let's Talk Sports. But I'm here to tell you, I'll do it. I'll do it, and I'll let y'all laugh at me for years because I love what we're doing. This is crazy how far we have came. So my son was saying, Dad, you came so close, you're so close, Dad, you're so close. I'm like, dude. He's like, don't give up, don't quit. I said, don't give up, don't quit. I don't know where would you possibly be getting at. I said I couldn't even look at my wife, my friends, or anybody because they know how much time and effort I put into this. There was no way. I said, dude, you must be talking about when God gonna call me home because that's the only time I'm gonna give up on this show. I said, this show is gonna be something everybody's gonna be watching one day. And I can promise you that because we just believe it's gonna happen. We got God in front of us, and that's just how He is. And I enjoy this too much. With that being said, Rod, I want to thank you for coming on. You got any last words?
Oh man, I just implore everybody to keep supporting the show. Keep putting out great content. You know, you can be wrong on basketball, but we'll let you do that. No, man, but again, I love it. I really appreciate coming on. I love the platform, man. I love what you're doing. I support what you're doing. Hey, let's keep it moving, baby.
Let's keep it moving. Rashad, you want to come on and say hi to everybody? I know you're somewhere around there. Those of y'all who are just watching, I'm inviting my producer on. This is where all the magic happens behind the scenes. This is where the production meetings go on, and we argue on the background about what we want to do and what we don't want to do, and what we want to say and what we don't want to say. This man makes it all happen. Rashad, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What up?
Bruh, hell of a show tonight, man. I'm sorry I didn't do the camera up front like I said I was gonna do.
Hey, it's all good. We had it all queued up and the show was on point, you know what I'm saying? Rod did his thing and you did your thing and we good. No worries.
I mean, see now, Rod, here's the deal. See that gentleman right there? He is a Pelicans fan. So but he actually agrees with me when I say the Pelicans, and when he didn't agree about Golden State, but he did agree about the Pelicans though.
I'm gonna say
But
I can tell you that straight up. Like at the beginning of the season, they was number one for a good little minute. So they had the mental breakdowns and all that stuff, and that's gonna affect them in the playoffs in the long term. But we're not talking about them today. I don't know. I'm gonna come back and
that
we're gonna
didn't say
talk about
game
it.
five.
I say, look, I'll talk. We just talking about, but right before the show, you know, what I'm saying I don't care if it's the end of the show. I'm live now. You messed up and put me on the camera, but look, I'm saying like they just came back and beat the number one in Denver. Just came back and beat the number one in the Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying? They busted the Clippers a couple times. You know what I'm saying? So they are still a high caliber team. You know what I'm saying? And if they healthy, they making a deep run.
And
Get me
you
off
know
the
what?
camera.
No, bro, no, seriously. Seriously, what you're saying makes sense. That's exactly going to what me and Rob was saying. If Zion comes back, that's a whole different team. He is just unbelievable to stop. It's like trying to start a moving truck.
Good
Oh, I'm
luck.
sorry, a moving under control truck. Which you, I mean, so
Yeah, good luck with
it's
that.
right. I mean, what happened?
Told me that my wife just contributed to the show.
Okay, since your wife contributed to the show, please tell me she want to come on the show.
Oh,
Please tell me.
she's number one Saints fan. We can get her on there.
Bruh, the reason I say that is if we can get your wife on and my wife on, I think that'll be the show, dude.
I think it'll be Let's Talk Sports with them.
Tell her, man, tell her we really, really appreciate it from the bottom of our heart, man, because we busting our butt out here. And tell her we gonna get that freaking camera. I told y'all think I'm playing. So when you see me on social media making a reel, standing on the street corner with a sign, don't just Rashard probably already said, bro, don't stand on the street corner. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You better
This
do it.
is
Let me repeat myself. 'Cause I'm pretty sure I was on mute, but you better do it. I will record it. I'll stream it live. We gonna make that thing work. You know what I'm saying? Get on that corner shaking. Make that money. Let me get me off the camera. Why you got me on this camera? You know you can't put me in. Bring me nowhere. You know better than that. Come on now. Right, get back on this camera. Back on the street.
and then what's really messed up, Rod, is I'm gonna be right there in church Sunday to my God. You know what I'm just playing.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Listen,
That's why
guys,
we employ everybody to support. We need everybody support because we don't want Rich on
everybody,
the corner.
everybody support means everybody wins. People think I'm kidding when I say that, but like my wife said, my wife, and I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna finish the show. My wife sees the part that you guys don't see. Y'all hear about it, but you don't see me like sitting there, like, okay, I want this right here. I would have it like this, and I'm doing this all day long. Because let me tell you something, Rob. Rashard knows this too. Find one podcast. I guess you could say like Shannon Sharp called us a poor man podcast. We're a poor man podcast, right? Find one podcast that can go deep into every sport. It ain't very many. They're either structured by NFL, NBA, or Major League Baseball. It is not very many that talk about all three or two out of the three. Now, I'm not talking about Fox Network or anything. I'm just talking about podcasts. And when you go look at them, most of them are talking about their home team. And that's normally about as far as they can go. Their range don't go that far. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this about every podcast. I'm just saying that who I see and pay attention to, that's what I see. What we're trying to do is not only talk about every avenue of sport, but to get people on that are fans that can actually speak on that sport and every avenue of sport. Think about it, Rob. We went through the NCAA together now already. We're going through the NBA. We've been through that. We finished the NFL, and we went into the draft. And I must admit, we went into the draft a lot different than everybody else because all the mock drafts and who they should pick. I mean, who cares? I mean, who cares? Uh, I'm, I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna put you in. I want to put our fans in a position where they can talk about things that nobody else talks about. You know, like um, Iowa decides they're gonna just play LSU 5-7 yards off, like they're not gonna shoot the three. Oh, and by the way, if they hit them, they're not gonna hit a lot of 70% of 3 pointers cost you a game. I mean, so these are the kind of things that we want to bring to the forefront. Again, thank you guys, Rod. Tell your wife I really, really, really appreciate it. We saw a hell of a show tonight, man. I can't wait to see it again. This is Richard Cole, Rod Matthews, and Rabbit signing off. Let's talk sports. Peace. We out.
All right, we on the end screen. Get that a second before I shut it down. Good job, everybody. Let that circle around one more again.